Just as you can learn to tolerate feelings, thoughts, and situations you prefer to avoid, so too you can increase your tolerance to not knowing. For the most part, we like to know, we like certainty. Uncertainty can give rise to anxiety. Some of us like to know with great certainty before making a decision or taking action, but this isn't always possible. So learning to tolerate uncertainty can help with everyday living. Sitting with uncertainty can be hard with a baby because it's reassuring to have certainty in caregiving, but this is often not possible. Mindfulness can help us increase tolerance to uncertainty. There is uncertainty in mindfulness as it is about watching what unfolds moment by moment without a preconceived idea of how things will be. Thus, being mindful is a form of exposure that helps to increase your tolerance. Do you have a tendency to dismiss or minimise your own thoughts, ideas and desires as opposed to taking them seriously? What would happen if you took your thoughts seriously? Perhaps you dismiss or minimise your experiences, thoughts and feelings because you feel more comfortable looking outside of yourself for the right answers. Or perhaps you like to have a set of rules you think you should follow for life. While there are guidelines for how to be mindful, mindfulness is not prescriptive because it's about connecting to your own experience. Your experience cannot be right or wrong, good or bad. It's simply your experience. So when practiced, mindfulness can provide a focused attention so you can listen to yourself and learn to trust your experiences. This is essential in parenting a young infant, as there will be many times when you're uncertain but need to respond to your infant sensitively. Listening to yourself and trusting your decisions at these uncertain times can be enhanced with mindfulness. Now, we all have an inner critic. Our inner critic is that part of our mind responsible for self-criticism. This critical part of mind strives for perfection, is fault-finding and beats up on you for your perceived shortcomings. It's your inner critic that leads you to feel guilty and inferior when you don't measure up to your expectations or you feel you've failed. It often demands that things should be a certain way and any other way is wrong. All of us have this inner critic, and for some of us it may be more vocal or cruel. Having an active critical part of mind has consequences for enhancing your experience of life and parenting. It's really hard to be happy and feel good about yourself and others when that critic is active. It's also harder to view the world with this beginner's mind and feel contented about what you see and just accept things how they are. If your critical voice is well developed and active, critical thoughts may be very automatic and go undetected, so you may need to increase your vigilance in listening out for this inner critic. Watch for rules and shoulds in your self-talk, as well as times when you beat up on yourself. For example, you may catch yourself saying, "I should know how to settle and comfort my baby. If I don't, I'm an incompetent mum." Of course, it's a reasonable desire to want to comfort your baby, but where did you get the idea that you should know what to do? Where is it written that you should know? Who said you should? Notice also the cruel aspect of the thought with the label of incompetence. Ask yourself, where did that idea come from? Is this really what I believe, or do I automatically assume it's real because I've been repeating it to myself for so long? Is this really how I want to be speaking to myself? Would I speak to someone I care about in this same way? If I did, how do I think it would affect him or her? You don't have to passively accept what you say to yourself as real. Remember, just because we think it doesn't make it true. Perhaps you're swimming in your critical thoughts. If so, try and take a step back from your thoughts and look at them with some distance and perspective. Look at these thoughts rather than from them. This is the difference between noticing and believing, as we've talked about a little bit earlier. A core feature of mindfulness is to make observations in a particular way, without judgment and with curiosity. So that is, when we are mindful, we suspend judgment about whether something is good, bad, right, wrong, beautiful or ugly. Rather than making a judgment, we observe what it is with interest, curiosity and kindness. The process is about moment-to-moment awareness and being open and accepting of what you observe. This applies to the contents of your mind, including your thoughts, feelings and desires. Now, it takes practice, and again, some of these automatic thoughts have been with us for years. So again, that kindness and curiosity is really crucial. And like anything that's worth doing, it takes practice. And we slip back into our own old ways really easily. So be kind to yourself, be curious about how your mind works. And when your mind slips back into its old ways or automatic thoughts, be gentle and just redirect yourself back to noticing with as much curiosity and kindness as you can manage at that time.